Achieving big goals isn't about luck or chance. It's about the mindset you carry every day. The truth is, high achievers think differently. They approach their work, their challenges, and their lives with a unique perspective that drives them to succeed, no matter the obstacles. It's not about talent or resources. It's about how they think, the decisions they make, and the actions they take. The mindset of high achievers is powerful. It's built on discipline, focus, and the belief that they can always improve. It's about pushing through difficulties, learning from failures, and staying consistent even when things get tough. High achievers know that success isn't a matter of chance, but of choices that move them closer to their goals every day. If you're looking for the key to unlocking your own potential, this is where it starts. Understanding and adopting the mindset of high achievers can help you overcome obstacles, stay motivated, and create lasting success. Stick with me, because the next steps will show you how to think and act in a way that leads to your greatest achievements. Number 1, clarity of purpose. When I say clarity, I mean knowing exactly what you want, why you want it, and how much it truly matters to you. Think about it. How many people do you know who are just going through the motions? They wake up, they go to work, they come home, and they repeat the cycle. But they're not moving forward. They're just existing, not truly living. And you know why? Because they lack clarity. They don't have a target. Now imagine this. You're trying to hit a bullseye on a dartboard, but you've got a blindfold on. How many darts do you think you'll land in the center? Probably none. That's what life looks like without clarity of purpose. You're throwing darts in the dark. High achievers, though, they don't play that way. They know their target, and they aim for it every single day. You see, clarity of purpose starts with a decision. It's about sitting down with yourself and asking, what do I want out of life? Not what your parents want, not what society expects of you, but what you truly want. This isn't always easy. It takes honesty, and sometimes it's uncomfortable because it forces you to confront your desires, your fears, and even your doubts. But once you get clear, life becomes simpler. Not easier, simple. Because now you know what to focus on, and you can let go of everything that doesn't align with your purpose. Let me share something I've observed. High achievers have a remarkable ability to narrow their focus. They don't try to do everything. They focus on what matters most. Steve Jobs once said that focus is about saying no. High achievers say no to distractions, no to things that pull them away from their purpose. It's not because they're special or superhuman. It's because they've decided what's important, and they stick to it. Clarity also gives you energy. Have you ever noticed how draining it is to feel lost or uncertain? It's exhausting, isn't it? But when you know what you're working toward, you wake up with a sense of direction. There's a spark in your step, a reason to get out of bed in the morning. You stop procrastinating because you're not confused about what to do next. Let me give you an example. Picture someone training for a marathon. They know the race date, the distance, and the finish line. That clarity helps them plan their runs, their diet, their rest days. They don't waste time running aimlessly because they have a clear goal. Now think about someone who says, I want to get fit. That's too vague. What does fit mean? Without clarity, they'll dabble here and there, but never see real results. The difference between the two, purpose and precision. But here's the catch. Clarity isn't just about what you want. It's about why you want it. The why is the fuel for your journey. If your goal is to start a business, ask yourself why. Is it to create freedom? To provide for your family? To make an impact? The stronger your why, the stronger your drive. High achievers dig deep into their reasons. They don't just want success. They're connected to the purpose behind it. Now let's talk about fear, because fear often clouds clarity. People don't define their goals because they're afraid they'll fail. They're afraid of judgment or rejection. But let me tell you something important. Clarity doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you'll move forward despite the fear, because your purpose is bigger than your doubts. High achievers don't wait for fear to disappear. They get clear on their goals, and they take action anyway. Another thing clarity gives you is focus, and focus is a superpower in today's world. Think about how many distractions are out there. Social media, endless notifications, other people's opinions. It's so easy to get pulled in 100 different directions. But when you're clear on your purpose, distractions lose their power. You learn to tune out the noise and stay locked in on your goals. Let me give you a tip. Write it down. Whatever your purpose is, put it on paper. There's something magical about taking the thoughts in your head and making them tangible. When you write it down, it becomes real. It's not just a vague idea anymore, it's a commitment. High achievers write down their goals. They review them daily. They keep their purpose front and center because out of sight is out of mind. Here's another thing I've noticed: clarity attracts opportunity. When you know what you want, people and resources start aligning with your vision. Why? Because you're sending a clear signal to the world. If you're vague, the world responds with vagueness. But when you're specific, doors open. You meet the right people. You find the right resources and things start to click. Now let's be practical. Clarity isn't something you find overnight. It's a process. Start small. Take time to reflect. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what excites me? What scares me? What do I want to be remembered for? The answers might not come right away, and that's okay. The key is to keep asking until the fog clears. Let me wrap this up by saying this. If you want to be a high achiever, clarity of purpose is non-negotiable. Without it, you'll drift. With it, you'll soar. It's the foundation for everything else: discipline, resilience, learning, and growth. So take the time to define your purpose. Get clear on what you want and why you want it. Once you do, you'll find a sense of direction, a renewed energy, and a confidence that no obstacle can shake. And remember, the moment you get clear on your purpose, you'll start living, not just existing. That's where the magic begins. Number 2, discipline and consistency. These are the cornerstones of achievement. If you want to become a high achiever, there's no way around it. You can have all the dreams and plans in the world, but without discipline and the ability to stay consistent, those dreams will stay exactly that, dreams. Let me tell you, the most successful people you see, the ones who inspire you, the ones who seem to accomplish the impossible, they didn't get there because of luck or talent alone. They got there because they made discipline and consistency a non-negotiable part of their lives. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And let's be honest, there will be days when you won't feel like it. There will be mornings when the alarm goes off, and every part of you wants to stay in bed. There will be moments when the excitement of starting something new fades, and all that's left is hard work. Those are the moments that test you. Those are the moments that separate high achievers from everyone else. Because the truth is, anyone can be motivated when things are easy or when they're feeling good. But discipline kicks in when motivation fades. Consistency is what turns discipline into results. It's not about working hard for a week or a month. It's about showing up day after day, week after week, year after year. High achievers understand this. They know that success isn't built in a day. It's the result of countless small actions repeated over time. It's showing up for the workout even when you're tired. It's putting in the extra effort at work when no one is watching. It's sticking to the plan even when progress feels slow. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Think of it like this: discipline is the decision to start, and consistency is the commitment to keep going. The two work hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Discipline gets you through the tough days, and consistency makes sure those days add up to something meaningful. But here's the thing: discipline and consistency aren't easy. If they were, everyone would be successful. The truth is, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice, it takes the willingness to do what most people won't. And that's exactly why they're so powerful. When you develop discipline and consistency, you set yourself apart. You become the kind of person who follows through, who doesn't quit, who can be trusted to deliver. That kind of character is rare, and it's what makes high achievers stand out. Now let me make this clear. Discipline doesn't mean being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or never taking a day off. It's about building the habit of getting back on track. High achievers don't let one bad day turn into a bad week. They don't let a moment of weakness derail their progress. They understand that consistency isn't about being flawless. It's about being persistent. It's about showing up more often than not, even when it's hard. Let's talk about how to build discipline, because it's not something you're born with. It's something you develop. The first step is deciding what you want. Without a clear goal, discipline has no direction. You need to know what you're working toward and why it matters to you. Once you have that, break it down into small, manageable steps. Too often people get overwhelmed because they try to do too much at once. But discipline is like a muscle. You have to build it gradually. Start small, stay consistent, and let the momentum build. Another key to discipline is creating structure. High achievers don't rely on willpower alone. They set up systems and routines to make success easier. They plan their days. They remove distractions. They make it as easy as possible to stay consistent. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. If you're trying to read more, set a specific time each day to pick up a book. Structure creates discipline, and discipline creates results. Consistency, on the other hand, is about staying the course. And let me tell you, the hardest part of consistency is patience. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification. People want results now, but high achievers know that real success takes time. They're willing to put in the work, even when the results aren't immediate. They trust the process. They understand that every small step forward adds up, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to track your progress. There's something powerful about seeing how far you've come. It keeps you motivated and reminds you that your efforts are paying off. High achievers are masters of measurement. They track their workouts, their sales, their time. Whatever it is they're working on, they keep a record. It's not just about accountability. It's about celebrating the small wins along the way. And let's not forget the role of mindset. Discipline and consistency start in your mind. If you're constantly telling yourself that it's too hard, that you're not good enough, or that it's not worth it, guess what? You're going to quit. High achievers guard their thoughts. They focus on what's possible, not what's difficult. They remind themselves of their goals, their purpose, and their progress. They stay positive, even when the journey is tough. Now here's a question for you. What's one area of your life where you need more discipline? Is it your health, your career, your relationships? Whatever it is, start there. Decide to show up consistently, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. Build the habit. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Once you master discipline and consistency in one area, you can apply it to anything. Discipline and consistency aren't glamorous. They're not flashy. They don't get a lot of attention, but they're what make the difference. They're what separate those who dream from those who achieve. And the best part, they're skills you can learn. No matter where you're starting from, you can become more disciplined. You can become more consistent. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. So if you want to become a high achiever, commit to discipline and consistency today. Make it your standard, make it your habit, and watch how it transforms your life. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. Number 3, power of self-belief. Let me tell you something. Self-belief is one of the most powerful tools you can ever develop. When you truly believe in yourself, it changes the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you approach life. It's like flipping a switch inside you, and suddenly, the things that once seemed impossible start to feel within reach. High achievers don't get to where they are because they're smarter, luckier, or more talented than everyone else. No, they get there because they've mastered the art of believing in themselves, even when no one else does. Here's the truth. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? Confidence starts with you. It's not something you wait for, and it's not something someone hands to you. It's something you build from the inside out. And it starts with deciding that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you have what it takes to succeed. That decision is yours and yours alone. No one can make it for you. But let's be real, believing in yourself isn't always easy. Life has a way of testing you. Maybe you've faced setbacks. Maybe people have doubted you, criticized you, or made you question your abilities. Maybe you've even doubted yourself. That's normal. It happens to everyone. But high achievers don't let those doubts take over. They don't let their failures define them. Instead, they use those moments as fuel to push forward. They understand that self-belief isn't about ignoring your flaws or pretending you're perfect. It's about knowing that, despite your imperfections, you can still achieve incredible things. Self-belief starts with your thoughts. What you say to yourself matters more than you realize. If you're constantly feeding your mind with negativity, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, I don't deserve this, then you're setting yourself up to fail before you even begin. High achievers know how to take control of their inner dialogue. They speak to themselves with encouragement and determination. When a challenge comes their way, they don't say, I can't do this. They say, how can I figure this out? That shift in mindset makes all the difference. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you gave yourself credit for something? Too often, people focus on their failures and ignore their victories. But if you want to build self-belief, you've got to celebrate your wins, big or small. Did you finish a project at work? Celebrate it. Did you make progress on a personal goal? Acknowledge it. Every step forward is proof that you're capable, and every win builds your confidence. High achievers don't shy away from challenges either. In fact, they seek them out. Why? Because every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to prove to yourself what you're made of. When you step outside your comfort zone, you're forced to rely on your own abilities. And every time you succeed, you reinforce the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. That's how self-belief grows, not by avoiding difficulty, but by facing it head on. Now let's talk about failure, because it's one of the biggest reasons people lose faith in themselves. Failure can feel like a punch to the gut. It's discouraging, it's frustrating, and it can make you want to give up. But high achievers don't see failure as the end. They see it as a stepping stone. They know that failure is part of the process, not the opposite of success. Think about it. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more times than you can count. The difference is, they didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as lessons, as fuel, as motivation to keep going. If you've failed before, and let's be honest, we all have, don't let that failure define you. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? High achievers have this incredible ability to separate their worth from their mistakes. They understand that failing at something doesn't make them a failure. It just means they're human. And being human means you have the ability to grow, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. Another key to self-belief is surrounding yourself with the right people. The people you spend time with have a huge influence on how you see yourself. If you're constantly around people who doubt you, criticize you, or bring you down, it's going to be a lot harder to believe in yourself. But if you surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your potential, and who encourage you to chase your dreams, that positivity rubs off on you. High achievers are intentional about who they let into their circle. They choose to be around people who challenge them, inspire them, and support them. Here's something else that's important. Self-belief isn't about arrogance or pretending you know everything. It's about having the humility to admit when you don't know something, and the confidence to figure it out. High achievers don't have all the answers, and they don't pretend to. What they do have is the belief that they can learn, that they can adapt, and that they can overcome any obstacle. That's real confidence. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about trusting yourself to rise to the occasion. And let me tell you, self-belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, other people start to believe in you too. They see your confidence, your determination, and your resilience, and it inspires them. Whether it's your family, your friends, or your coworkers, your self-belief has a ripple effect. It gives others permission to believe in themselves, and that's a powerful thing. So how do you start building self-belief today? Start by taking action. Nothing builds confidence like doing the work. Don't wait until you feel ready, because let me tell you, you'll never feel 100% ready. Start now, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect. Every step you take, every action you complete will build your confidence bit by bit. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Remember, self-belief isn't a destination. It's a journey. It's something you cultivate every day, with every thought, every action, and every choice. It's about trusting yourself even when the odds are against you. It's about knowing that you're capable, even when the world tells you otherwise. And it's about showing up for yourself, day after day, because you are worth it. When you master the power of self-belief, you unlock a new level of potential. You stop holding yourself back, and you start stepping into the person you were meant to be. That's the mindset of high achievers. And that's the mindset you can develop too, starting right now. Believe in yourself. You're stronger than you think, and you're capable of more than you can imagine. Number 4, focus on solutions, not problems. Let's talk about one of the most defining traits of high achievers. They focus on solutions, not problems. It's a mindset shift that changes everything. You see, in life, problems are inevitable. Everyone faces challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. It's just part of being human. But the way you respond to those problems is what separates the high achievers from everyone else. Where most people get stuck in the problem, high achievers immediately turn their attention to finding a solution. The first thing you've got to understand is that focusing on the problem doesn't get you anywhere. It might feel natural to dwell on what went wrong, to complain about the situation, or to blame others for the challenges you're facing. But none of that moves you forward. High achievers know that energy spent complaining is energy wasted. They don't dwell on how unfair something is, how hard it might be, or how much they wish it hadn't happened. Instead, they accept the reality of the situation and ask, what can I do about it? This doesn't mean ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist. High achievers face their challenges head on. They take a good hard look at the situation and acknowledge it for what it is, but they don't let it consume them. They understand that the goal isn't to fixate on the problem. It's to find a way through it. It's about shifting your perspective from why did this happen to me to what can I do to move forward. When you focus on solutions, something incredible happens. Your brain starts working differently. Instead of feeling stuck, you start to feel empowered. You begin to see possibilities where you once saw roadblocks. You realize that no matter how difficult a situation might seem, there's always a way to improve it. It might not be easy, and it might not be perfect, but there's always something you can do to take a step forward. High achievers are problem solvers by nature. They don't wait for someone else to fix things for them. They don't sit around hoping the situation will improve on its own. They take ownership of their circumstances and look for ways to make progress. This kind of mindset requires a certain level of resilience and creativity. It means being willing to think outside the box, to try new approaches, and to take risks. It also means being okay with the fact that not every solution will work. High achievers know that failure is part of the process, but they don't let that stop them from trying. One of the keys to focusing on solutions is staying calm under pressure. When a problem arises, it's easy to get overwhelmed or emotional. But high achievers have learned to stay composed, even in the face of adversity. They take a step back, assess the situation, and approach it with a clear mind. This doesn't mean they don't feel stress or frustration. They do, but they don't let those emotions control their actions. They've trained themselves to respond to challenges thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. Another important aspect of solution-focused thinking is asking the right questions. When faced with a problem, the quality of your questions determines the quality of your answers. High achievers ask themselves questions like, what's the next step I can take? Who can help me with this? What resources do I have at my disposal? These kinds of questions open up possibilities and lead to actionable steps. On the other hand, asking questions like, why does this always happen to me? Or what if I fail? Only leads to more negativity and inaction. Let's talk about attitude, because it plays a huge role in this mindset. High achievers have a can-do attitude. They approach problems with the belief that they can and will find a way to overcome them. This doesn't mean they're blindly optimistic or naive. They're realistic about the challenges they face, but they don't let those challenges define them. They see problems as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to prove to themselves what they're capable of. You might be wondering how to develop this kind of mindset if it doesn't come naturally to you. The good news is, it's a skill you can learn. It starts with self-awareness. The next time you're faced with a challenge, pay attention to where your focus goes. Are you dwelling on the problem, or are you looking for solutions? If you catch yourself fixating on what went wrong, make a conscious effort to shift your focus. Remind yourself that the goal isn't to wallow in the problem. It's to find a way forward. Another way to develop a solution-focused mindset is to practice gratitude. It might sound unrelated, but gratitude helps you maintain a positive outlook, even in difficult times. When you're grateful for what you have, it's easier to see the opportunities in front of you. Gratitude keeps you grounded and reminds you that no matter how big a problem might seem, there's always something to be thankful for. High achievers also know the importance of collaboration. They understand that they don't have to solve every problem on their own. They're not afraid to ask for help, to seek advice, or to lean on others when needed. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes humility and courage to admit when you need support. And high achievers are smart enough to recognize that. At the end of the day, focusing on solutions is about taking responsibility for your life. It's about recognizing that, while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. High achievers don't waste time waiting for someone else to save them. They take ownership of their circumstances and do what they can to create the outcomes they want. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, where is my focus? Am I stuck in the problem, or am I working toward a solution? Remember, every problem has a solution, even if it's not immediately obvious. Sometimes the solution is simple, and sometimes it's complex. Sometimes it requires patience, and sometimes it requires bold action. But there's always a way forward if you're willing to look for it. High achievers don't see problems as barriers. They see them as stepping stones. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And you can adopt that mindset too. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. It's about choosing to focus on what you can do, rather than what you can't. When you make that shift, when you start focusing on solutions instead of problems, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. You'll find that the things that once felt overwhelming start to feel manageable. You'll discover strengths and resources within yourself that you didn't even know you had. And you'll begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to become the best version of yourself. That's the mindset of high achievers. And it's a mindset you can cultivate, starting right now. Number 5, continuous learning and growth. Let me tell you something about high achievers. They are lifelong learners. They understand that the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Growth isn't automatic, it's intentional. It requires effort, curiosity, and the willingness to push yourself beyond what you already know. High achievers don't just rely on what they've learned in the past. They are constantly seeking new knowledge, new skills, and new ways to improve. That's what sets them apart. Learning isn't just something you do in school. It's a mindset, a way of approaching life. High achievers see every experience, every interaction, every challenge as an opportunity to learn. They don't just learn for the sake of learning. They do it with a purpose. They understand that growth is the key to staying ahead, to achieving their goals, and to becoming the best version of themselves. Let's talk about curiosity, because that's where it all begins. High achievers are curious by nature. They ask questions, they explore, they dig deeper. They don't settle for surface-level understanding. They want to know how things work, why they work, and how they can make them better. This curiosity drives them to keep learning, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. It's not about being naturally curious. It's about cultivating curiosity. It's about choosing to stay open-minded and eager to learn, no matter how much you already know. But here's the thing, learning isn't always easy. It requires humility. High achievers know they don't have all the answers, and they're okay with that. They don't let their ego get in the way of their growth. Instead, they embrace the fact that there's always more to learn. They're willing to admit when they don't know something and to seek out the knowledge they need. That humility is what allows them to keep improving, even when others get stuck. One of the keys to continuous learning is being intentional about it. High achievers don't just wait for learning opportunities to come to them. They seek them out. They read books, take courses, attend seminars, and surround themselves with people who challenge them. They understand that growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make a deliberate effort to learn and grow. Now let's talk about the importance of learning from failure. High achievers don't fear failure. They see it as one of the greatest teachers. When things don't go as planned, they don't get discouraged. They get curious. They ask themselves, what went wrong? What can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? They know that every failure holds a lesson, and they're determined to find it. This willingness to learn from failure is what allows them to bounce back stronger and smarter every time. But learning isn't just about gaining new knowledge. It's also about unlearning. Sometimes the things you've been taught or the beliefs you've held on to for years can hold you back. High achievers are willing to challenge those beliefs, to let go of outdated ways of thinking, and to embrace new perspectives. They're not afraid to question the status quo or to change their approach when necessary. This flexibility and adaptability are what keep them moving forward, even in a constantly changing world. Another important aspect of continuous learning is staying curious about yourself. High achievers take the time to reflect, to understand their strengths and weaknesses, and to work on personal growth. They don't just focus on external achievements. They're also committed to becoming better people. They ask themselves, how can I improve? What habits do I need to develop? What's holding me back? And how can I overcome it? This self-awareness is a powerful tool for growth. High achievers also know the value of learning from others. They surround themselves with mentors, role models, and peers who inspire them and challenge them to grow. They're not afraid to ask for advice or to learn from someone else's experiences. They understand that everyone has something to teach, and they're always looking for opportunities to learn from the people around them. This willingness to learn from others is what helps them stay ahead and achieve their goals. Now let's talk about resilience, because it plays a big role in continuous learning. Learning isn't always easy, and growth often comes with its fair share of challenges. High achievers don't let those challenges discourage them. They keep pushing forward, even when it's tough. They understand that the process of learning and growing is what builds resilience. It's what helps them develop the strength and determination to keep going, no matter what life throws at them. Here's something else to keep in mind. Learning isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifelong commitment. High achievers don't see learning as something you do for a few years and then stop. They see it as a way of life. They're always looking for ways to improve, to grow, and to become better. Whether it's reading a new book, taking on a new challenge, or stepping out of their comfort zone, they're always learning. That's what keeps them moving forward, even when others plateau. One of the most inspiring things about high achievers is their ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. When faced with a challenge, they don't see it as a roadblock. They see it as a chance to learn and grow. They understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to develop new skills, to gain new insights, and to become stronger. This mindset is what allows them to keep pushing forward, no matter what challenges they face. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this: growth is a choice. You have the power to decide whether you're going to stay where you are or take steps to improve. High achievers make the choice to keep learning, to keep growing, and to keep striving for more. It's not always easy, and it's not always comfortable, but it's always worth it. So how can you start cultivating a mindset of continuous learning? Begin by staying curious. Ask questions, explore new ideas, and challenge yourself to think differently. Make learning a priority in your life. Set aside time to read, to reflect, and to grow. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and who push you to be better. And most importantly, be willing to learn from your mistakes. Embrace failure as a stepping stone to success and use it as an opportunity to grow. Remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and it requires patience, effort, and determination. But if you commit to the journey of continuous learning, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. You'll discover strengths you didn't know you had, and you'll unlock potential you didn't know existed. That's the mindset of high achievers, and it's a mindset you can develop too. All it takes is a willingness to learn, to grow, and to keep moving forward, no matter what. Number 6, importance of resilience. When we think about high achievers, one of the qualities that really stands out is their resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough, and to stay committed to your goals, despite the challenges life throws your way. High achievers don't just show resilience in the big moments. They demonstrate it every single day in the way they respond to obstacles, disappointment, and failure. It's easy to look at someone who has achieved a lot and think that their success came easily, but that's not the case. Every high achiever has faced challenges along the way, times when they felt like giving up, when things didn't go according to plan, and when they weren't sure if they could keep going. But what sets them apart is that they don't let those tough moments define them. They don't let failure keep them down. They get back up, dust themselves off, and keep pushing forward. Resilience is about more than just getting back up after a fall. It's about how you approach the tough times in your life. High achievers understand that setbacks are a natural part of the journey to success. They don't look at failure as the end of the road. Instead, they see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. They know that the real test of character comes not when everything is going well, but when life gets difficult. You've probably heard the saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." It's not just a cliche, it's the truth. The most successful people in the world have often faced the biggest struggles. Think about it, some of the most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders have been through some incredibly difficult times. They faced failure, rejection, and adversity. But what made them successful wasn't just their talent or their skills. It was their ability to keep going, to keep believing in themselves, and to stay focused on their goals, even when the going got tough. One of the keys to building resilience is developing a strong sense of purpose. When you have a clear understanding of why you're doing something, why your goal matters, you're much more likely to keep going, even when things get tough. High achievers have a deep sense of purpose that drives them through the difficult times. They don't give up because they're connected to something bigger than themselves. They have a vision of what they want to achieve, and that vision keeps them moving forward. Resilience also comes from having a strong belief in yourself. When you face setbacks, it's easy to start doubting your abilities or questioning your worth. But high achievers have a deep-seated belief that they can overcome anything. They know that challenges are just part of the process, and they trust in their ability to handle whatever comes their way. This belief doesn't come from arrogance or pride. it comes from experience. High achievers have been through tough times before, and they've come out stronger because of it. They know that they can handle whatever challenges they face because they've done it before. One of the most important aspects of resilience is the ability to adapt. Life is constantly changing, and things don't always go the way we expect them to. High achievers understand that the road to success is rarely a straight line. There are going to be twists, turns, and detours along the way. But rather than getting discouraged, they find ways to adapt and keep moving forward. They don't get stuck in their plans. They're flexible and open to change. They understand that sometimes the best way forward is not the way they originally planned, but by adapting to new circumstances. Another aspect of resilience is the ability to stay focused on the long-term goal. When things get tough, it's easy to get bogged down by the immediate obstacles in front of you. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the challenges you're facing right now and forget why you started in the first place. High achievers don't let short-term setbacks derail them. They keep their eyes on the bigger picture, on the long-term goal they're working toward. They understand that the tough times will pass, but their vision of success will remain. Emotional strength is a big part of resilience as well. High achievers don't let their emotions control their actions. When they face adversity, they don't let anger, frustration, or disappointment dictate their responses. Instead, they take control of their emotions and channel them in a positive direction. They understand that emotions are powerful, but they don't let them overwhelm them. They use their emotional energy to fuel their determination, to stay focused, and to keep moving forward. Of course, building resilience doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to work on every day. It's about developing the habits and mindset that will help you stay strong in the face of challenges. One of the first steps is to stop seeing setbacks as failures. Instead of seeing obstacles as things that are stopping you, start seeing them as opportunities to learn. Every challenge is a lesson. Every setback is a chance to grow. The more you view difficulties this way, the easier it will be to stay resilient when they come your way. Another way to build resilience is by practicing self-care. It's hard to stay strong when you're physically, mentally, or emotionally drained. High achievers understand that in order to be resilient, they need to take care of themselves. They make time for rest, for relaxation, and for activities that recharge them. This doesn't mean they avoid hard work, but they recognize that their energy and well-being are key to their ability to keep going. Resilience also requires a strong support system. No one can do it alone. High achievers know that it's important to surround themselves with people who lift them up, who support them during tough times, and who remind them of their strengths when they're feeling down. When you have a network of people who believe in you, it's easier to stay strong when things get difficult. These people don't just offer encouragement. They offer practical support, advice, and guidance. They help you see the possibilities when you're focused on the problems. Now, resilience doesn't mean that you won't feel down sometimes. Everyone has moments of doubt, moments when they question whether they can keep going. But what matters is what you do in those moments. High achievers don't let those moments define them. They acknowledge their feelings, but they don't let them take control. They take a deep breath, refocus, and keep moving forward. They know that resilience isn't about avoiding tough times. It's about how you respond to them. The ability to bounce back, to get back on track after a setback, is one of the most important qualities of high achievers. They don't let adversity define them. They let it strengthen them. They keep going, they keep learning, and they keep improving. And that's why they succeed. Resilience is something you can cultivate, something you can build over time. It's a choice and it's a skill that will serve you throughout your life. The more resilient you become, the more unstoppable you will be. Keep pushing, keep growing, and never let a setback keep you down for long. Number 7, positive environment. When we talk about the mindset of high achievers, one thing stands out: the environment they choose to surround themselves with, the people you spend your time with, the places you frequent, and the overall atmosphere you create in your life. These all have a massive impact on your success. High achievers understand this principle, and that's why they are intentional about creating a positive, supportive, and motivating environment for themselves. Think about it. If you're always around negativity, doubt, and people who aren't supportive of your goals, it's going to be a lot harder to stay focused and motivated. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who encourage your growth, it becomes easier to maintain that drive and determination. High achievers understand that their environment plays a huge role in their mindset, and they take full responsibility for shaping that environment. The first thing high achievers do is make sure they're surrounding themselves with positive, like-minded individuals. They know that the energy of the people around them can either lift them up or bring them down. So they seek out relationships with people who are supportive of their dreams and who push them to be better. These are the people who celebrate their successes, who help them get back on track when they stumble, and who remind them of their potential when they start to doubt themselves. A high achiever knows that they can't do it all on their own, and they intentionally surround themselves with a network of people who add value to their lives. But it's not just about the people you surround yourself with, it's also about the energy you allow into your life. High achievers are careful about the content they consume, whether it's news, social media, or the conversations they engage in. They understand that negativity and fear-mongering can drag you down. They make a conscious effort to stay away from sources of negativity and instead seek out uplifting, motivating content that reinforces their goals and values. This could be books, podcasts, motivational speakers, or anything that inspires and encourages them to keep going. By filling their minds with positive, empowering messages, they're able to maintain a mindset that's focused on growth and achievement. Your environment also extends to the physical space you live in. High achievers know that their surroundings affect their state of mind. A cluttered, disorganized space can make you feel stressed and overwhelmed, while a clean, organized environment can help you stay focused and clear-headed. That's why high achievers take the time to create spaces that promote productivity, calm, and creativity. Whether it's setting up a dedicated workspace for their business, making sure their home is a place of peace and relaxation, or just keeping things tidy and organized, they know that the state of their environment impacts the state of their mind. Another aspect of creating a positive environment is choosing the right opportunities and experiences that support your growth. High achievers know that they can't afford to waste time on things that don't move them closer to their goals. They make conscious decisions about how they spend their time and energy. If an opportunity doesn't align with their vision, they're not afraid to pass on it. They focus on experiences that expand their horizons, develop their skills, and bring them closer to the person they're striving to become. This means saying no to distractions and things that don't serve their purpose. This also applies to their work environments. High achievers understand that the culture of a company or team can have a significant impact on their success. If they're in a toxic or unsupportive work environment, it can be incredibly difficult to thrive. That's why they seek out environments that encourage collaboration, innovation, and personal growth. If they're not in the right environment, they'll make changes, whether that's moving to a different role, starting their own business, or finding a community that better aligns with their values. They know that their environment has the power to shape their success, and they're willing to make the changes necessary to ensure they're in a place that fosters their growth. Creating a positive environment is also about setting boundaries. High achievers are very clear about what they will and won't tolerate in their lives. They know that their time and energy are limited resources, and they're careful about how they spend both. If someone or something is draining their energy or distracting them from their goals, they set boundaries to protect their space. This could mean limiting time with negative people, avoiding toxic work situations, or saying no to commitments that don't align with their priorities. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect, and high achievers understand that they can't achieve their goals if they're constantly giving their time and energy to things that don't matter. Your environment isn't just about physical spaces or the people you interact with. It also includes the habits and routines you build into your life. High achievers are intentional about the daily habits they cultivate because they know that habits shape their success. They surround themselves with routines that support their well-being, their goals, and their vision. Whether it's a morning routine that helps them start the day with clarity, a fitness routine that keeps them energized, or a work routine that helps them stay focused and productive. High achievers know that consistency is key. They don't leave their success up to chance. They create habits that set them up for success every single day. Another powerful way high achievers create a positive environment is through their mindset. They understand that their mindset is a huge factor in how they perceive and respond to their environment. High achievers don't let external circumstances control their emotional state. They work hard to cultivate a mindset that stays positive and focused, regardless of what's happening around them. They train their minds to look for solutions, to focus on opportunities rather than problems, and to maintain a sense of gratitude, even when things aren't perfect. This mindset in turn allows them to create an environment within themselves that is calm, focused, and driven. It's also important to remember that your environment isn't just about where you are physically, It's about how you show up in the world. High achievers know that their actions, words, and energy contribute to the environment around them. They lead by example, showing others what's possible by the way they live their lives. They bring positivity, energy, and determination to everything they do, and that energy is contagious. The environment they create isn't just about what they surround themselves with. It's about the energy they bring into every room they enter. By showing up with confidence and positivity, they inspire others to do the same. The truth is, you can't always control everything in your environment. Life will throw curveballs, and you'll face challenges you didn't expect. But high achievers know that they have control over how they respond to their environment. They can choose to focus on the positive, to create supportive relationships, to protect their time and energy, and to cultivate a mindset that drives them towards success. They understand that while they can't always control the circumstances, they can control how they show up and how they use their environment to fuel their goals. If you want to develop the mindset of a high achiever, start by taking a good look at the environment you're in. Ask yourself, does this environment support my growth? Does it motivate me to be my best? If not, what changes can I make? You have the power to shape your environment. You have the power to create a space that nurtures your dreams and pushes you toward your goals. The people, places, and things around you matter. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with what's going to help you succeed. Your environment can either lift you up or hold you back. It's up to you to choose what kind of environment you want to create. Number 8, taking responsibility for success. When you think about success, it's easy to focus on the external factors, the big opportunities, the breakthrough moments, the recognition. But there's something deeper that high achievers understand. Something that drives them far more than the applause or accolades. And that something is responsibility. High achievers take full responsibility for their success and their failures. They know that their journey is in their hands, that their future is shaped by the choices they make, and that no one else is going to build their dreams for them. Taking responsibility for your success means that you acknowledge that you're in control. You don't wait for circumstances to change, and you don't blame others when things don't go as planned. You take ownership of your decisions, your actions, and the results that come from them. High achievers don't make excuses. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect set of circumstances. They recognize that their success is not something that happens to them. It's something they create by taking full responsibility for their choices. Think about how easy it is to point fingers when things go wrong. It's tempting to say, it's not my fault, or if only I had a better situation, or if I had more resources, I could make it happen. It's easy to look outside yourself for answers. But high achievers don't fall into that trap. They understand that the moment they start blaming others or their circumstances, they give up their power. They understand that blaming others takes away their ability to act, to grow, and to create change in their lives. They don't wait for things to get better on their own. Instead, they look at what they can control, and they take responsibility for that. Taking responsibility for your success also means being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to go. It means taking a hard look at your life and your choices and recognizing what's working and what isn't. High achievers aren't afraid to look at their failures because they know that each failure is a lesson. They don't shy away from challenges because they understand that the obstacles are just part of the process. They take responsibility for the results they've gotten, and they ask themselves, what can I do differently next time? They don't make excuses or blame anyone else. They own their results, good or bad, and they learn from them. One of the most empowering things you can do is take full responsibility for where you are in life. Instead of waiting for someone to give you a break or for things to magically get easier, you step up and say, I'm in charge of my life. I'm in charge of my decisions. I'm in charge of my success. This is where true power lies. When you realize that you have the ability to shape your future, that you're not at the mercy of circumstances, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of life and start seeing yourself as the creator of your destiny. Taking responsibility also means that you're not waiting for someone to come along and fix things for you. High achievers don't rely on other people to make their dreams come true. They don't sit around hoping that someone will give them the opportunity they've been waiting for. They go out and create those opportunities themselves. If they want something, they figure out how to get it. If they encounter an obstacle, they find a way around it. They don't wait for permission, and they don't wait for the stars to align. They take action, knowing that their success is up to them. This mindset extends beyond just professional success. It applies to every area of life. High achievers take responsibility for their health, their relationships, their finances, and their personal growth. They don't blame their circumstances for their health problems, their financial struggles, or their unhappy relationships. They understand that they are the common denominator in every area of their life. If something isn't working, they look at what they can change about their habits, their mindset, and their actions. They take responsibility for the outcomes in their life, and they work every day to improve. One of the key elements of taking responsibility is the ability to move past failure. High achievers don't see failure as a reflection of who they are. They see it as a stepping stone on the way to success. When they fail, they don't give up. They don't let failure define them. Instead, they take responsibility for what happened, reflect on what they could have done differently, and move forward with a plan for improvement. They see failure as a lesson, not a defeat. They take ownership of their mistakes and use them as fuel to drive them toward future success. This attitude also means being proactive. High achievers don't wait for things to happen. They make them happen. They don't sit around hoping for things to change or waiting for someone else to fix their problems. They understand that success doesn't just fall into your lap. It requires hard work, persistence, and a relentless drive to improve. They take responsibility for making things happen. They create their own opportunities, solve their own problems, and push themselves to be better every single day. It's important to understand that taking responsibility doesn't mean doing everything on your own. High achievers know that they can't do it all alone. They take responsibility for building a support system, for seeking out mentors, for learning from others, and for asking for help when they need it. Taking responsibility doesn't mean trying to control everything. It means recognizing where you have control and taking full ownership of that. It means making the choice to move forward, to grow, and to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Another important aspect of taking responsibility is the ability to stay focused on your own path. It's easy to get distracted by what others are doing, by the success of those around you. But high achievers understand that comparing themselves to others only leads to frustration and self-doubt. They focus on their own journey, their own goals, and their own progress. They know that success is not a race, it's a personal journey, and they take full responsibility for their pace and their progress. The more you take responsibility for your own success, the more empowered you become. You stop waiting for the perfect circumstances, the perfect timing, or the perfect opportunity. You understand that you have the power to create your own success, to take control of your own future. The moment you take full responsibility is the moment you step into your power and start making things happen. Taking responsibility for your success also means being patient with yourself. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't moving as fast as you'd like. But high achievers understand that success doesn't happen overnight. They're willing to put in the work, stay consistent, and keep improving. They know that success is a journey, not a destination, and they're committed to showing up every day, doing the work, and taking responsibility for their growth. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to take full responsibility for your success. No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. You have to take charge of your own journey. When you take responsibility for where you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there, you'll find that your success is in your hands. You have the power to create your future, and the moment you take responsibility is the moment you start making your dreams a reality. Number 9, time mastery. How do you spend your time? What's your relationship with time like? You see, time is the one thing we all have in common. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or how much money you have. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day. But here's the truth that high achievers understand. It's not about how much time you have. It's about how you use it. Time is your most valuable asset. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. That's why mastering time is one of the most important skills you can develop on your journey to success. High achievers don't let time slip through their fingers. They understand that time once spent is gone forever. So they make it a priority to use their time wisely. They don't let distractions control them. They don't waste time on things that don't matter. Instead, they focus on what's important, and they do it with purpose and intention. When you master time, you become the master of your own life. You control your schedule, and your schedule doesn't control you. Let's break this down. High achievers understand the importance of planning and prioritization. They don't just go through their days reacting to whatever comes their way. They don't wake up and let the world dictate how their day goes. Instead, they start each day with a plan. They know exactly what they need to do, and they make sure that their actions align with their goals. High achievers spend their time on the things that move them closer to where they want to go, and they don't let anything get in the way of that. They also know the power of saying no. It's easy to get caught up in everything that demands your attention. Friends, family, social events, work requests. These are all things that can eat up your time if you let them. But high achievers understand that not every opportunity is a good opportunity. They understand the importance of saying no to distractions, saying no to things that don't align with their goals, and saying no to things that take up time without giving anything back. When you master time, you get comfortable with setting boundaries. You learn to protect your time and invest it in the things that truly matter. Saying no isn't always easy, but high achievers know that it's necessary to stay focused on what's important. High achievers also understand the value of consistency. They don't wait for the perfect moment to start working on their goals. They don't wait for inspiration to strike or for the stars to align. Instead, they show up every day, ready to put in the work. Whether it's a little bit of work each day or a focused burst of productivity, high achievers know that consistency is key. They don't let time slip away because they understand that every day is an opportunity to move closer to their goals. They commit to daily progress, no matter how small, because they know that over time, small actions compound into big results. One of the most important lessons in mastering time is learning to avoid procrastination. We all struggle with it from time to time. We put off tasks, we delay important actions, and we let fear or doubt hold us back. But high achievers don't let procrastination control them. They know that procrastination is the enemy of progress. So they take action. They break their big goals down into small, manageable tasks, and they get to work. High achievers don't wait for the perfect conditions. They create their own momentum by taking consistent action. They understand that the best time to start is now, not later, and they push past the temptation to procrastinate. Time mastery also requires self-discipline. You've got to be able to resist the distractions that pull you away from your goals. High achievers know that there are countless things that can distract you. Social media, TV, email, phone calls, and the endless stream of notifications that constantly demand your attention. But they've learned how to stay disciplined. They understand that their goals require focus, and that means making choices every day about how they spend their time. They don't give in to distractions. Instead, they stay focused on the task at hand, knowing that every minute counts. Another key to mastering time is learning to prioritize what truly matters. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle, constantly running from one task to the next. But high achievers understand that not everything is equally important. They know how to identify what moves the needle on their goals and put those tasks first. They're not wasting time on things that don't contribute to their success. Instead, they focus on the activities that have the greatest impact. Whether it's building their business, developing their skills, or working on their personal growth. High achievers understand that time is finite, so they prioritize their efforts accordingly. One thing high achievers do exceptionally well is to break their big goals into smaller, actionable steps. When you have a big goal in mind, it can feel overwhelming, like you have no idea where to start. But high achievers take that goal and break it down into smaller tasks that they can tackle on a daily or weekly basis. This makes the goal feel more manageable, and it keeps them focused on taking action, rather than getting lost in the enormity of the task. Each small step brings them closer to their bigger goal, and because they're working on it consistently, they build momentum along the way. In addition to focusing on their goals, high achievers also make time for self-care. You can't give your best to your work if you're running on empty. High achievers understand the importance of taking care of themselves, physically, mentally, and emotionally. They make time for exercise, sleep, relaxation, and activities that recharge their batteries. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle the demands of your day and perform at your best. High achievers know that mastering time isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter and making time for rest and rejuvenation. Finally, mastering time means learning how to be present. It's easy to get caught up in the future, constantly thinking about what you need to do next or where you want to go. But high achievers understand the importance of being fully present in the moment. They don't let their minds wander to tomorrow's tasks or yesterday's mistakes. Instead, they focus on the task at hand, giving it their full attention. Whether they're working on a project, spending time with family, or enjoying a hobby, high achievers know that being present allows them to get the most out of every moment. Mastering time isn't about working 24/7. It's about being intentional with how you use your time. It's about focusing on what matters, saying no to distractions, and making consistent progress towards your goals. High achievers don't waste time. They invest it. And when you start to view time as your most valuable asset, when you start to manage it with intention and discipline, that's when you begin to see real progress. Time doesn't control you. You control your time. And when you do, there's nothing stopping you from achieving the success you've always dreamed of. Number 10, commitment to excellence. When you think about excellence, it's easy to picture someone who's at the top of their field, the best in the world at what they do. But the truth is, excellence isn't something that happens by accident. It's a choice. It's a decision you make every single day to give your best, to push yourself to be better, and to hold yourself to the highest standards possible. High achievers aren't born with excellence. They create it through their daily actions, habits, and mindset. Excellence is about striving for the best version of yourself, not comparing yourself to others. It's not about being perfect. It's about making a commitment to improvement. High achievers don't settle for mediocrity. They don't do just enough to get by. They don't accept anything less than the best. They hold themselves accountable for their work, their actions, and their results. And they do this consistently. Every single day, they show up with a commitment to do better than they did yesterday. They don't rest on their laurels or let success go to their heads. They keep pushing forward, knowing that there's always room to grow, always something more to learn, and always a way to improve. One of the key elements of excellence is a relentless focus on personal growth. High achievers know that they're never done learning, never done growing. They understand that excellence isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's about pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. Every time you reach a milestone, you don't stop. You set new goals. You take what you've learned, refine your approach, and aim higher. Excellence isn't about being good enough. It's about constantly striving for mastery in everything you do, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your relationships. High achievers are always looking for ways to improve. Excellence also means paying attention to the details. High achievers know that little things matter. They understand that success is built on the foundation of small, consistent actions. They don't just do the bare minimum. They go the extra mile. They focus on the quality of their work, no matter how small the task may seem. They know that excellence is built through repetition, discipline, and attention to detail. Whether it's preparing for a presentation, working on a project, or interacting with others, they bring their best every single time. It's not about doing something once and moving on. It's about bringing your full attention to everything you do, no matter how big or small. The commitment to excellence also involves an unwavering belief in your ability to improve. High achievers understand that setbacks and failures are a part of the process. They don't let mistakes define them. Instead, they use them as fuel for growth. When something goes wrong, they don't get discouraged. They take responsibility, learn from it, and move forward. Excellence is about having the resilience to bounce back, the strength to keep going, and the mindset that no challenge is too big to overcome. High achievers view failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock. They know that each setback is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to come back stronger. Another important aspect of excellence is discipline. High achievers know that excellence isn't something that happens overnight. It's built through consistent effort, day in and day out. They don't rely on motivation to get them through. They rely on discipline, the ability to keep showing up, even when they don't feel like it. They develop habits that support their success and stick to them, even when it's tough. Whether it's waking up early to get a head start on the day, putting in extra hours to perfect their craft, or pushing through the hard times, they stay disciplined. They understand that excellence isn't about doing something once in a while. It's about doing it consistently, no matter the circumstances. Excellence also involves setting high standards for yourself. High achievers don't let others define their limits. They set their own standards, and they don't settle for less than their best. They don't look at what others are doing and say, "That's good enough." They look at what they're capable of and strive to exceed even their own expectations. High achievers know that setting high standards means you hold yourself accountable. You don't allow yourself to make excuses or fall short of what you're truly capable of. When you set high standards, you don't just meet the minimum, you push yourself to do more, to do better, and to achieve the highest level of excellence possible. But excellence isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are. High achievers know that excellence starts with character. They understand that your actions and behaviors reflect who you are as a person. You can't separate the quality of your work from the quality of your character. Excellence means being someone who is honest, dependable, and accountable. It means treating others with respect, keeping your word, and doing what you say you're going to do. High achievers build trust through their integrity and their commitment to doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. They know that excellence is as much about who you are as it is about what you do. The commitment to excellence also requires a deep sense of purpose. High achievers are driven by a vision, a reason for why they do what they do. They don't just go through the motions or work for the sake of working. They are clear about their why they're pursuing their goals, why they want to succeed, and what they want to achieve. This sense of purpose gives them the energy and motivation to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Excellence is fueled by passion, and when you have a clear sense of purpose, you're more likely to keep pushing forward, even when obstacles arise. High achievers also understand that excellence doesn't mean doing everything yourself. They know the value of collaboration and surrounding themselves with people who share their values and their commitment to excellence. They recognize that success is often a team effort, and they are willing to work with others who can help elevate their work. Whether it's learning from mentors, collaborating with colleagues, or seeking out the advice of experts, high achievers understand that excellence is often achieved through collective effort. They don't try to do it all on their own. They build strong networks, share ideas, and learn from those around them. Excellence also requires time and patience. High achievers don't expect instant results. They understand that the journey to excellence is a long one, filled with hard work, setbacks, and incremental progress. They are patient with themselves, and they trust the process. They don't get discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as they'd like. Instead, they keep their eyes on the long-term goal, knowing that excellence takes time. They understand that each step forward is a step in the right direction, and they stay focused on the journey, not just the destination. In the end, excellence is about making a commitment to be the best version of yourself every single day. It's about refusing to settle, pushing yourself to improve, and holding yourself to the highest standards. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving for mastery, making consistent progress, and learning from your mistakes. When you make the decision to pursue excellence, you set yourself on a path that leads to continuous growth, success, and fulfillment. And that's a journey worth taking.